In 1995, the Honourable Jean Augustine, Canada's first Black female cabinet minister, put forward a historic motion in the House of Commons to designate February as Black History Month. We join in marking the history of people of African descent, Caribbean and Black Canadians in both Canada and around the world. We recognize the struggles faced by Black communities, and we honor the contributions made by Black people that have shaped our world. As we celebrate and reflect on the contributions of our Black members through Hamilton Police history, we acknowledge the work which lays ahead.
The 2021 Black History Month theme is "The Future is Now." As one of the oldest police services, our history in engaging Black community members dates back to 1894, when our service hired Martha Lewis, a Black woman, as a matron. Her primary role was searching and guarding female prisoners in custody. While the hiring of Ms. Lewis created much controversy at the time, the progressive thinking of leaders of the day gave cause for reflection in how we must continue to dismantle barriers and create change.
I was born in Grenada and I moved to Trinidad and Tobago with my parents when I was a baby. I moved to Canada on August 28, 1968, and I lived with a Canadian family for a period of time. I was fortunate to meet a lot of my neighbors who welcomed me to the community and without any negativity. I became interested in becoming an officer through a friend's brother who was a police officer with Hamilton Police. The officer, during conversation, told me it was a satisfying and rewarding career, and so I applied. At the time, every Wednesday, I traveled to King William Street, which is the old Central Police Station, to follow up on my application with the recruiting officer. And each time, I was informed that interviews were not being conducted. However, a friend had been called for an interview and he was hired. At this point, I wondered if the color of my skin was the reason I was not given any interviews. I challenged this by asking the deputy chief at the time why my friend was interviewed and I was not. 2 weeks later, I was called for an interview and subsequently got hired. Throughout my career, I recognized the role I played as the first Black male Hamilton police officer. I tried to pave a way to end racism. Black History Month is a chance to celebrate and acknowledge the many contributions made by Black Canadians in our communities.
When I started with the service in 1991, as a young Black woman, I felt accepted by my peers. It was not without challenges, but in my over 25-year career with the service, I have seen the organization improve diversity and build inclusivity. From just a few racialized officers in 1991, today we are moving toward being reflective of the community we serve. From a young age, my mother instilled in me the importance of volunteerism and giving back, and so it is central to my core beliefs. I and many other HPS members actively engage with many community and youth initiatives throughout the city. Black History Month means recognizing and celebrating the achievements of Black Canadians. It also means acknowledging the barriers faced by Black people and the continuous progress that needs to be made.
Our history is rich of Black role models. A Black role model for me, I would have to say, is Oprah. She has overcome multiple challenges to reach the stature and success she has today. As a civilian member of the Hamilton Police Service, I am proud to represent the diversity within the service. Supporting victims of crime and traumatic events allows me to give back to my community while connecting with others, caring for people, providing a sense of belonging, restoring dignity, and having a genuine love for humanity. Black History Month to me is not a month that is dedicated to Black people only. However, it is a month where everyone is invited to acknowledge the achievements of Black people despite systemic opposition. It is also a month where you get to reflect on your own barriers and draw from the persistence and strengths of others to know that you too can overcome.
When I first brought up the fact that I was interested in a career in policing, I had a mixed response from my family and friends. Some saw this as an opportunity to highlight my community in the policing profession, while others reflected on their own negative experiences with police as justification to dissuade me from this career path. I stuck through it, knowing that there's an opportunity to do good and to inspire members of the diverse and racialized communities to choose policing. In my 7 years of policing, connecting with the community has been instrumental. As a mounted police officer, my horse Lincoln and I are often approached in casual conversations by community members, which leads to interesting discussions about policing. The public approaches a police horse very differently than a police vehicle. To me, Black History Month means recognizing the efforts of those who came before me, that I am afforded the opportunity to be a police officer today.
We celebrate the rich history and contributions of Black Canadians, and we acknowledge that the events of the past year highlights the ongoing challenges and barriers to progress that Black communities continue to face.
In honor of this year's Black History Month theme, The Future is Now, we are committed to actionable change. In 2020, the service set out to understand its diversity by engaging the Canadian Centre for Diversity and Inclusion in conducting a survey of our membership.
An equity, diversity, and inclusion specialist position was created to guide the service in its policies and practices.
The Diversity and Inclusion Internal Support Network was established as a peer-to-peer network to help members address concerns, build an awareness, and understanding of the issues impacting communities. The first topic of discussion was understanding Black Lives Matter and systemic racism in policing.
We know there's much that needs to be done, and these are small steps towards change. Engagement with communities is essential in understanding how Hamilton Police can serve you better. The future is now.